Hello, and welcome to the Mental Funny Bone, Becoming the Gaster Girls. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Christine. A big part of this podcast is discussing mental health, but please know we are by no means licensed mental health professionals. If that is why you are here, you are doing it wrong again. We do have a whole list of licensed mental health professionals who are available to help you out. Check out the links in our show notes. Until then, we will entertain you with stories of our youth and our own mental health challenges. Welcome.
Oh my gosh. The first thing the audience will hear is not me saying, motherfuck, Christine.
Apparently, what it takes to learn how to do an introduction is 20 episodes.
Yep. On the 20th, we'll get it right. Welcome to the 20th
Right.
episode. Thank you.
Here we are. Just FYI, if you guys are our weekly listeners, then you know that last week was a little bit challenging for us. I think what we should do is count the number of F words in the episode, and that is our challenge rating. Like the number of times we have to say fuck during an episode should be indicative of how challenging it was to get it together. I feel last week that we talked every day that we could possibly talk, and we talked a lot about everything that happens. As a result, this week may be a slightly shorter episode than you guys are used to. Also, we were not great at atomic habits this week. I was not great at atomic habits. You might have been greater at atomic habits, but I think what we're going to do is just recognize and talk about that when we get to it. Sarah's nodding her head. It's an audio thing.
Yeah. No, I just thought, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just concurring. You're the leader, so you have to tell me what you want me to do.
Nothing. I'm gonna jump right into fan mail. So we got an email from Rudy again, Rudy P, and everything that Rudy does is just delightful. He told us about going to school the next day and telling the jokes about the Challenger disaster that I referenced, and Rudy took it a step further, and he said that it was a good idea that I did not do that on the podcast because it did not go over well. So, Rudy, thanks for reaching out. It's always great to hear from you. We can't wait to see your next Jeep adventure, and not just because you're going to give us a shout out. If you never mentioned us again, we would still like to see what you and that Jeep are up to.
So check Rudy out on YouTube, Jeeps and Eats.
Jeeps and Eats. There you go.
He's in a little lull right now because his cameraman had to take a sabbatical.
Vacation, fell down a set of stairs, something.
Yeah.
I'm making stuff up.
I really hope it wasn't down the stairs. That's terrible.
I don't know.
And we should also say that this week is a little crazy, and we're going to be releasing this with very little editing. Yeah.
You get what you get, and you don't get upset this week.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. All right. Do you want to talk about Rick? Did I put that in there, or did you put that in?
No, I did. I just wanted to send a shout out to Rick Z for sending an email or a few emails to us and just continuing to listen. So thanks, Rick. Keep it up. Thanks for the email. So Rudy and Rick, you guys are it for the week. We love you. Rudy and Rick, the R's, double R's.
And I would like buddy cop show, Rudy and Rick.
Rudy and Rick. What would their dog name be? Because they'd have to have a dog, right? Yeah, because that's exactly what everybody would find. Rudy, Rick, and Esteban, the common dog. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, I would also like to take this opportunity to shame the rest of you for not emailing us.
Yeah, what's wrong, guys? Come on.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't beg.
Gastergirls@gmail.com. It's pretty simple. Lots of G's in there. Gastergirls@gmail.com.
Come on, guys.
There you go.
Do you hear
I hear a cat. Hey, speaking of do you hear this? Noah's out in the living room, kitchen, whatever. He's listening to the music. And I decided I want to do an episode that is dedicated to misheard lyrics.
I love it. Yes. Yes.
Currently, the song that was on is a Chris Stapleton song. I believe the name of it is Parachute. And the line is, I'll be your parachute. And I thought for the very longest time that he was saying, I'll be your pair of shoes. I thought that was equally wonderful. I would love for you to be my pair of shoes. Parachute might make a little more sense.
To this day, I'm not sure what the lyrics to Desperado really are.
El Dorado.
Is that what it is? I have no idea. I don't know.
No, it's definitely Desperado. But that's how I have to,
Okay.
when I'm given the opportunity to say Yosemite, I have to stop and say it in my head. Is it Yosemite or is it
No,
Yosemite? It's definitely Yosemite.
exactly.
So that's what I have
Exactly.
to do
All
for El
right.
Dorado. Desperado.
No, what is it? All right. So let's catch up. Let's go to weekly catch up corner. So I watched more Olympics after we
There's
talked about the
Olympics.
Olympics. I can't stop. I want to watch handball, which I thought we already had a sport like this called basketball, but this one is different because the goal
It's
is on the
soccer.
floor. But
It's
it's an amazingly hard sport, and I was
yeah.
frustrated and bored about 15 minutes into it, and yet I watched the entire episode.
But
What's it
it's like
called?
soccer.
Game. I was like, what? All she does is run up there and then stand still because she can't get around that girl. They should make this
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
like,
very
every
little
time.
court too. It's like a tiny
Yeah.
court. And then there's these, I just watched the dudes play. So there's like these ginormous goalies. And I
Yeah.
feel like they all look like middle-aged dads, the goalies.
Right. They're wearing white shoes.
Yeah. I'm
They've
not
got
talking
like,
shit. Like they're in the Olympics. Do your thing. But that's what I thought of.
yep, exactly. Handball. I can't get enough of it. And my life right now, the day after the closing ceremonies, really has no purpose.
Depression. Like that's what I was reading a little bit from our friend Ricky Gervais. No, that's not his name. What's his name? Okay. Anyway, I was reading his one of his little newsletters, and it was the guest he was having on his podcast, Michael Gervais. That's
That's
what his
it.
name is.
Not Ricky.
And they were going to talk about post Olympic depression, which is absolutely a thing. But I would say more for the actual, I think for
I
us,
mean,
we should be able to work through it pretty easily.
yeah, I'll be okay
I'm
by
having
tonight
trouble, but
I'll be all right by later on tonight when I'm like, oh, I can watch Dateline, A
yeah,
Dateline, and A Dateline. There's no
yeah.
requirement for me to watch the Olympics now, and I'll feel free about it. Oh, you know who's going to be depressed? Jordan Childs,
What a segue into that. Whew.
right? Folks, that
Yowzer.
is how that is done.
Burn.
Ugh,
Burn.
right, right.
I feel bad for
Poor,
everybody in that situation. That's a terrible fucking situation. And whoever the people in charge who fucked it up, it's terrible. It's terrible.
somebody needs to go and punch somebody else in the neck,
I mean,
clearly.
I think they both get, I think you give them both bronze medals. I feel like
Yeah.
you let one stand on the podium and you put it around her neck. I feel like no give backs.
No, you already, and the one girl that was crying and was real upset after she lost it, everybody gets a medal. So
Yep.
nobody be
Yeah.
sad. Nobody be
Yeah.
sad.
No.
For 15 minutes,
No.
I had a medal. I would just put that on a t shirt and tell everybody.
Yeah, she should do something with that. She should do something. I hope she has a good agent who will get shirts out there. I think that's valid. I'm going to continue to look up interviews with Emma Hayes.
I did not, I thought my favorite person at the Olympics was Snoop Dogg, but it is not. My favorite person at the Olympics is motherfucking Emma Hayes.
I really want Emma Hayes, and I changed my vote for president. I change it from Snoop Dogg and Martha to Snoop Dogg and Emma Hayes.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Martha can be like in the cabinet or some shit, but
No, Emma
I'm
Hayes,
digging
Secretary
Emma
of
Hayes.
Defense.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right. All right. Emma Hayes has got to get in there somewhere.
We'll get that General Mattis guy who was there before, and then he can be like the mentor to Emma Hayes. I feel like
Mhm.
this will be a fantastic system of government. Wait, she wasn't born in the US though,
It's
so
fine. It's fine. The US made her. The US
okay,
made her.
yeah,
She has
yeah,
said
she
this. It's
said
fine.
so.
As long as she said, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It works for
All right,
everybody else. Just say it. And it's true. It's fine.
don't worry about it. Tell me about your interviews because I've only seen like the ones after the gold medal match where the United States won a gold medal in women's soccer.
Yeah. And oh, yeah, I guess we
Nine
should say for
games.
those of you who don't know who Emma Hayes is, she's the women's soccer coach. And she's like amazing because she just came in. She's only been working with the team for a very short amount of time. And she's just a badass bitch. She made some decisions prior to the Olympics that a lot of people were not happy with. I applauded them and thought they were great decisions personally. Yeah, so I feel like she's killing it. The one today that I read about that's slightly controversial is her making the statement that I want them to suffer.
Yeah, no, I'm all on board. I'm all on board. I'm assuming she was talking about the other team and
No,
beating them. Oh,
no.
oh man. What was she talking about her own team? Tell me more. My
Yeah.
God. I might like it more
Well,
now.
so I don't know if you watched any of the games, you would have heard Julie Foudy bitch about how Emma Hayes was not making any subs and the lack of fresh legs and yada
Oh
yada
my
yada.
God.
Which
Yes, because she would not shut up. 2 days
right, I was like, can you
rest.
please just okay, we get it. We heard you the first 28 bazillion times, Julie. We get it. You're great. You are great. We love you.
I love
We
you.
loved watching you, but can you stop about the legs and the subs and blah blah blah. So I guess more people were asking her about that, and she made the statement, yeah, I want them to suffer. And it's basically a statement of this is how you earn things and this is how you get through things. You're not in this game for 5 minutes and then you're like, yeah, I think I'll come out. This is the starting. These are your starting 11. You want them to play the whole game. You want them
Right.
to you want them to be fatigued. They worked for it and they need to work through that. So there's a lot of different, but I heard Carly Lloyd talk about it. And I wish I would have had her exactly what she said because she's all for it, and I love Carly Lloyd too. She's a bit much sometimes in her criticism, but
A bit much.
yeah. And I think maybe people just see that I want them to suffer. And I don't think that's really what she
No.
really truly meant, but she wants them to work for it and she wants them, this is what it's about. It's about pushing
Yeah.
through those tough times and it's about you're in the Olympic gold medal match.
Right. You've
It.
it's about, I think, it's about earning that spot in that top 11 and being like, I earned my spot here. So, unless I am messing things up to an extent where we cannot recover, then Emma Hayes has the idea that there's chemistry and there's strategy and tactics involved with keeping that lineup the same. And
And I
the
think
only way you're going to figure out how to get through a whole 90-minute game is playing a 90-minute game.
I think she showed, I forget which game, was it China or was it Germany? I can't remember. I can't remember, but in extra time, she took out Lindsey Horan. Yeah, it was Germany because this is the game I wanted to talk about last week because I wanted to talk about her taking out Lindsey Horan
I
because
did not
I was
watch it.
excited about her taking out Lindsey Horan. Like I love her, and she's great, but she was not playing really well, and she was giving up, and not just in that game. She was giving up some shit passes, and she didn't have a great touch. Her passes were shitty, and I was annoyed that it took her that long to take her out. But she knows when it's time. And I think it's hard to criticize her when she's walking around with her gold medal after being coach
Right.
for 6 weeks.
Ninth game. Ninth game.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Big.
the other thing that she said, this of course I loved, because a reporter had asked her, now you're on your way to the gold medal match. Who would you rather face, Spain or Brazil? And she said, I don't care. I just need a drink.
It might, yeah, it might indicate a problem, but it's
No.
also it's very honest.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who we play.
I just want a drink. That's all.
I would like to have a drink now, and you are keeping me from it by asking the
Yeah.
dumbest question you could possibly ask.
And lastly, about Emma Hayes, she was interviewed right after the win of the gold medal. And she was asked, I forget the exact question, but basically, what do you really attribute this win to? Or what do you attribute this success? And she said, love.
That's amazing. I
I
love the
came
sport. I
in,
love
these
the
girls
team.
accepted me. Exactly. I came in, these girls accepted me. They showed me love. I showed them love. This is what it's all about. We're doing what we love. So hats off to Emma Hayes. That's all I'll say about
Right.
soccer. But and those three up front, man, Trinity Rodman. Yeah. And Noah was watching and Noah said, wonder if she's related to Dennis Rodman. I was like, yeah, it's his daughter.
Definitely related.
Yeah.
You could tell by the hair.
Yeah, and I was really questioning the hair situation because if I was an opponent of hers, I would have just grabbed onto that shit left and right. I would have been taking those little pigtails and just galloping down the field.
Yeah. No.
Get going, Trin.
Like Olivia grabbing that girl by the back of the head, pulling her face open,
Yeah.
and just tapping
A
on
little
it.
tap on the nose.
All right, enough soccer talk.
Okay.
Tom Balistreri will be sending us emails about how that's too much. He loves
Wah,
soccer.
wah.
Right.
Read a post from Tom today on Facebook about how he was making fun of the breakdancer. And then he had to get off the couch and hurt himself and fell up the stairs and said, "Yeah, Thomas, that's it. Keep making fun of that girl who's an Olympian."
Right. As you go upstairs to polish your not Olympic medals. Perfect. Oh, and before we wrap up weekly catch up corner, I am going to talk about Owen Tucker making the soccer team. So, if we flash back a couple of episodes, we were talking about how hard it is to be the parent of a child trying out for a soccer team, any team, a child trying out for anything when they have one shot, Eminem style, to make the team or not make the team, and how challenging that is for everybody. And we were talking about Owen having the opportunity to practice with the team and then maybe retry out in December. And the good news is the resolution of that whole situation is Owen's been working out with that team since May, right? The coach came up and said, "Hey, no need to try out. You must have just had a bad day on the tryout day, and welcome to the team."
Yay.
That is a nice story. And again, it fills me with rage that we don't take a more practiced approach to how we evaluate sports and athletes, especially when it's a team sport in these situations. And we don't let these kids try out for 2 months and then pick a team.
Amen. Amen, sister. Amen. You will not hear me disagree.
I guess it's harder to make money that way because then you have to
Yeah.
invest in kids you maybe don't know.
Yeah, because I should say the practices that he's been doing haven't technically been with the team. Their coach does training outside of
Oh,
actual
sorry.
club. I don't think you need to apologize, but so most teams don't have this. If he
Right.
wasn't playing for this particular coach, he just would have not made the team.
And it highlights something, again, sorry to talk about soccer, but it highlights something about US soccer versus the rest of the world that makes me think we'll never be a superpower at any sport other than the ones that we own completely, because we don't have enough opportunities for kids who can't pay. We don't have enough opportunities for kids who get anxious in these situations. We don't have enough opportunities for kids who aren't fit exactly the mold of how we're looking for those soccer players. It's just upsetting to me that a very large segment of kids who are talented, able to do it, willing to participate, just won't ever have the opportunity to do anything beyond their club team.
Yep. It's sad.
It's a shame. I would like to see Julie Foudy get on her fucking high horse about that for a little while instead of making elite athletes play the game they love playing twice in 1 week. Suck a dick. Sorry. Stupid. The
Legit,
violence is wearing
legit.
off.
But every game I was like, "Julie, come on,
Julie.
sister. Jesus Christ, we heard." And at the end, she was like, "I know, but I'm going to say it again." So fair enough. Whatever.
Say what you want to say. You got the platform, but maybe use it for something that'll actually have an impact on the sport.
And the other thing is every team was in that situation. Yes, the US had to go to extra time a few times, but it doesn't matter. Again, these are professional fucking athletes. They should be well equipped to handle this.
Now, if it was a situation where we did the Olympics right and you just got drafted into a sport, then I could see maybe taking it a little easier. Because I saw that on the internet and I would love that. Like a sport draft, like you sign up and you get drafted to do like the equestrian stuff. So they like gear you up and throw you on a horse and let you go out there and see how you do.
I love the videos of all of the sport failures that are the title of them is "This is why I didn't make the Olympics." Outside of the ones where I feel like someone could have really got hurt, outside of those, like I cry because they're freaking hysterical.
Hey, Mrs. Swanson, you're on uneven bars next.
All right, cool.
Jump on up there.
Like the one girl bounced off the uneven bars in one of these videos. Like she bounced and bounced back into the other one and then bounced back into the little one again. And then she just fell. And then she was just like, yeah, I don't know.
the one girl was like, I'm gonna do a balance beam routine. It took her 20 minutes to get on the balance beam. Just to get on it.
Oh,
Not standing on it, just to get on it in any way.
Oh, shit.
I would tune in
Yeah.
every day.
The other one I really enjoyed was like a men's gymnastics team. I want to say it was Penn State, but I don't know if that's what it was. I'm not sure. It was a gym's men's. Anyway, they can't fucking do the shit that girls do. That's it. That's all I had to say. And they were just laughing at themselves trying to do it. So that's it.
It's brilliant. Also, so much for this being a shorter episode.
It is. We're done. Moving on.
All right, the growing up gaster story of the week. What I've put in the notes is the endless entertainment of costume jewelry, fancy church gloves, and a crinoline slip from 1962.
Yeah, I was confused what crinoline meant, and then I read slip, and I was like, oh, that thing.
Right.
Grandma Annie's slip that we used to pretend was a bridal gown.
So
Also
picture
known as
skirts
a wedding dress.
in 1962, like they would stick out a little bit. And the way you did that was with one of these like stiff, scratchy material, like tulle that we talked about last time, only stiff and scratchy. And my grandma had an extra one of those slips that she kept in her closet that we found and thought it was a wedding gown. Yeah. So we would play with it accordingly.
We had a whole collection. We had a collection of dress up things.
There were a lot of gloves. She had the best organized drawer of costume jewelry, like not real jewelry, plastic clip-on earrings so that we could put them on.
Clip-ons.
Beads, necklaces. Oh, it was a whole host of things. And for those of you only familiar with keeping children busy by giving them an iPad, 3 of us, for the most part, me, you, cousin Kelly, entertained ourselves for hours at a time. In the winter, we would get to our grandma's house on Friday. We would stay until late in the day on Sunday. And the entire time, we would be playing pretend in the bedroom. We would be pulling shit out of that weird closet.
The weird closet and the desk that I burned.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. It hurts my feelings still.
Oh, right. That desk was nothing.
Come on.
I can smell it. Can you smell it? Can you smell the clothes, the closet, the jewelry? Like I can smell it.
Yes, absolutely. And there were office supplies in this desk from 1962. Your grandmother lived in a time capsule. And I didn't realize that was strange until about a year ago when I started looking around at my house and I'm like, oh, I need to update some of these decorations. And I can see how my grandmother was like, I'm not going to do it. Like those knickknacks are on the wall and I'm not taking them down. That little knickknack dog that somebody gave her stayed on her wall from the last time she updated, I'm guessing right after your dad graduated from high school until I moved in after I graduated from college. Everything was always the same stuff, same place. It never moved. It never changed. Nothing got moved around. Like when I moved in there to move into the bedroom to help take care of her, it was the same as it was when your dad moved out to get married. The same.
Yeah. I don't even remember you living there.
For 8 seconds. And then your grandmother was like, you don't have to stay here. So then I moved in with David.
Oh, okay.
And then I broke up with David and moved back in.
That was after Arizona, not after college. Okay.
Right. So far.
Okay.
After that. Okay, yeah, but it never changed. The coats in the closet were the same.
Yep.
Nothing got donated to Goodwill. Very little came in that wasn't already there.
Yeah.
Very little. There was a Kenny Rogers record and a record that the Smurfs sang. And those are the 2 records that came in during our tenure there.
Yeah.
That was it. Nothing else.
That record player was the best.
Oh my God. And it was in the exact same place it was at the advent of record players. It was not in the living room, but living room adjacent.
Yeah.
Because there was already things in every possible space in the living room. And they never moved. Ever.
Yeah. I miss that.
Man, that couch was comfy. So many good naps on that couch.
Oh, I love the recliner.
There's
several pictures of me sucking my thumb on that recliner.
Right. We would curl up on that. We were
Hmm.
permitted to nap at grandma's house.
Yeah.
So that was always
Yep.
nice. So many, except the only exception was there was a space for the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And there was a very specific rearrangement that happened to accommodate the Christmas tree. The Christmas
Yep.
tree was decorated the same. The Christmas tree never changed. I have bought, just since I moved into this house, 37 Christmas trees. I have five
Yeah.
every year, but I bought 37 Christmas trees. That was the
Yeah.
same
No.
fake Christmas tree she bought in the 60s that went up every
Hmm.
year.
Decorated the
It is
same
a
exact way.
testament to that generation that never threw anything away. Like she never had the plastic on the furniture, but it was implied if you fucked up that furniture, you were going to die.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Don't bring that pop in here if you're going
100%.
to spill it. Drink it in the kitchen. Which
And if you drink it now, you're not going to have any for later.
not going to have any for later. God, I love her.
Okay. How long? What's the waiting period, Grandma, on the cans of Pepsi that you have under the sink?
How
What
long do we have to
the
keep them?
fuck? So you purchased those 7 weeks ago. How many more do we have till I can drink one?
We bought cookies at the store because you said, "Hey, do you guys want cookies?" And we were like, "Yes, I would like cookies." Now the cookies are here. We can't eat them without
You
you
won't let us
saying,
eat them. Apparently, there's a time period on these things. I don't
so
get it. I don't fucking understand. Hmm.
how? The amount of money that she didn't spend is amazing to me. Amazing
Yeah.
to me. She went to
Well, she's
bingo
spending
on
on
Friday
bingo.
and she got her hair done at Carla's and then she went to
Hmm.
bingo. And if she won, none of that money ever got spent either. Amazing.
No.
Amazing the lifestyle these people were willing to live. Can you
Remember
imagine
those
buying
trips she went on
furniture?
with a senior center?
Oh,
Senior center.
senior center. Yes. I
They
have a
would
whole
find they would find a statue of Mary everywhere they went and took their picture in front of it.
look, here we are. Here we are in Branson, Missouri, Minnesota,
Yep, here's
wherever Branson
Mary.
is.
Wherever. Like I fucking
We
know.
and here's the priest. Me
Hmm.
and Ida H
Yep.
went to church. Yeah, I have a whole photo album of pictures of old ladies I don't know who went on trips with my grandma.
Yeah. She was living her best life.
And I want to say that at one point she had so also the same generation of people really were dedicated to taking care of the graves of people that had passed before them. They knew where all the graves were. They knew who was buried in them. They knew where everybody else was planning to be buried. Like having a
Hmm.
place to be buried, very key for this generation, I think.
Yeah,
Having
it
a
was
plan,
amazing.
understanding it, knowing that 7 generations ago, this one in this grave here was related to you. Very key. And our grandfather died. Our grandmother would take care of the headstone. So not actually a headstone that came up above ground. What? But
I was just gonna say she had a whole kit of shit that had to
it was
go to the cemetery with her,
routine.
including like the edger thing. Like you had to
Yeah,
stomp the little edger thing around because you had to get all the nasty dirt
weeds,
around away from the
right?
edges, and then she would rub it with baby oil,
There was
which I'm
a there
pretty sure
and
was no good for it.
no, 100%, definitely not. Same reason we don't put it on our skin anymore.
Yeah.
That's not how you treat things that are in the sun. But
Yeah.
no, you can't talk to her, couldn't talk to her about it all the time. That was a staple. You would go out and you would
I would
change the
like
flowers on the thing
mhm.
from plastic for fall to plastic for spring.
Always it had to be plastic. Why would you do anything different? I don't understand why you would. And
And
you could take the vase, and put it down in the thing
right,
if you didn't have the
and
flower.
and the nice thing about these particular headstone markers is that they were flat on the ground, so that was nice. You
Mhm.
didn't have to worry about anyone knocking them over, and they told you where you were going to be. Like your name,
Mhm.
since my grandma and grandpa were married, they bought his and her spot was next to him, and then they just put the marker in between. But it already
Yeah.
had her name on it.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yeah.
they're like,
And I would like you to go up to the cemetery and take a look and see what that grave site looks like now.
We're going to have to do
I
that.
tried after grandma died like a couple times to go clean it. And I even got mean with the cemetery people because there was a bunch of goose shit on the headstone the last time I went. Not sure exactly what I expected them to do about it.
Pressure wash it. I don't know.
I was still sad. That's how long ago it was.
For reference, what year did our grandmother die? It's 2004. 5. 4. Definitely 4, because Livy was born in 2005.
No. Yeah. Yeah, it had to be 2004. I thought I was in my Bellevue house.
You might have been.
But I thought I didn't move in there until 2005.
It was
I
late
don't know.
in 2004.
Keep talking. I'm going to look up her obituary.
Your name is already on the gravestone. The only thing that's missing is that last 15th. Date. Right. I was going to say December.
2004. No, November 15th, 2004. Go ahead.
2004. Because I found out I was pregnant with Olivia the next month, and I was real sad about that. Yeah, but the way I want to tie this back into where we started so we can bring it full circle is morbidly, we had gone to the grave and done the digging and the sanding and the wiping of the gravestone, and we had taken the spring flowers out and put the fall flowers in, and then we decided that those spring flowers that were on our grandfather's grave were now our bouquet for
legit. Totally forgot about it. Yeah.
And I am wearing, for some reason, you are wearing full-length gloves.
Mm-hmm.
This white crinoline slip.
Yeah.
We had put, I think, maybe a napkin on your head. Yeah. Something.
Mm-hmm. You have to find these pictures now.
I think I'm looking at the photo album where they are. I'll have to dig through it. But
yeah.
Yes. And you are holding a bouquet of graveyard plastic flowers.
Flowers. Yep.
That we bought at the Fisher Big Wheel in Grindstone, PA.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so that is how we would entertain ourselves. If we were really lucky, we would have to leave the house and go grocery shopping and buy the cookies, but not be able to eat them. And
you can't eat.
Somebody would take us to Fisher Big Wheel and give us $1 and let us pick any toy we wanted at Fisher Big Wheel for $1. So people not familiar, it's like a Kmart, only with a big wheel out front. So there you go. And that would also entertain us. I would get like some kind of irritating, noisy toy.
Of course.
Because you couldn't buy a book for $1.
Loser.
Shut up. Anyway, I am fondly remembering all of that time spent. And it never occurred to me why we were doing that. It never occurred to me that we were going down to spend time with our grandmother because our grandfather had passed away and we didn't want her to be sad. Like, it never occurred to me that was like the purpose for us going down on the weekends all the time.
I thought it was because Mommy and Daddy wanted to go out.
I don't think they went out too much. I remember them going out every once in a while, but not like reunions or whatever. But
I feel like that was when we stayed there, was when they were going out to like weddings or something.
No, we went out we were down there pretty frequently. You were little. You were barely even born when we started that. And then
I remember bath time at Grandma Annie's was the fucking best.
I thought we were wrapping up, but we are not. Because I want to talk about it too.
Yeah, she would put the Dreft. She would put that in the tub.
Right.
It smelled so good. So we'd have that and there'd be like extra bubbles. And then she'd wash us clean and then let us play a little bit. And then we get out of the tub, but she would lay down a few towels on the floor. She would get out and dry off. And then you had to lay down on your naked little body on the towels, and she would put baby powder all over you.
The best.
I smelled so good all the time when I was at Grandma Annie's, and it was so awesome. Right. I think it maybe got to the point where she was like, Sarah, you're too old for me to do that anymore. Right.
Sarah,
you're 15. That's got to end.
Sarah, you drove yourself here. I'm not going to give you a bath.
But Grandma, I'm laying down nicely on the towel.
Just what? Shut up, Alexa.
Siri, suck it.
Yeah, I mean, you would be there, and she's like, "You're like, just do the butt, just do the butt."
Yeah, yeah. And she'd put it on, and she'd give you a little smack.
Just pat. And she had a fancy. I don't know if this was all old ladies, but she had a fancy container for the powder. Like it wasn't just she would throw it.
Puffball.
wouldn't just throw it out of the,
No.
the baby powder shaker container, salt shaker.
Mm-hmm.
She would take the powder out of there, put it in her special container with her poof, and then she would poof
Mm-hmm.
it on your butt.
Get
Poof
poofed.
on the
Things
butt.
that sound dirty but aren't.
No,
No,
sure,
it's
your
terrible.
grandmother would just poof you on the butt with the powder. Oh my God. And she had the Caress soap that, I forget if it was pink or white, but that
Mm-hmm.
was just for
It
special.
was
That
like a
was for fancy.
peach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was
And
wonderful.
she could do that because she only took a bath once a week.
Yeah.
So she could
Yeah,
buy
because
the fancy
that's
soap. She would
yeah.
just rinse off in between because she didn't want to mess her hair up. There was no
Yep.
shower in there when I moved in.
No
It was just,
shower. There was never a shower on
just
her side. They had mommy and daddy put the shower in over on their side when they took over from Aunt Lee and Uncle Bruno.
oh my gosh. Yeah, and I should mention that my grandparents lived in a duplex. Their brother and sister-in-law lived in the other half of the duplex, and you could run back and forth between the two. There was like a laundry
Well,
room that separated
it
them.
was their
And
brother and their sister because it was all
it
fucked up how they
sounds
were all married because it was
it
Grandma
sounds
Annie's
weird.
brother was Uncle Bruno and
Right.
Pap Pap Tucker's sister was Aunt Lay.
And they
And there
married
was
each
another
other.
group, wasn't there? There were
Yeah,
other siblings from
John,
the same.
Uncle
I
John
don't
and
know.
Aunt Reen. I don't know. But
There
yes,
was
there
a
were
newspaper article on it.
it's and I was hesitant to bring it up in this context because it sounds like brothers and sisters married each other, but that
No,
wasn't what happened. It was brothers and sisters and brothers and sis. It's very, you
it would
get
be
it.
like me marrying Josh.
I'm gonna throw up in my own mouth like
I
that.
actually just did.
Could you imagine if we had the same mother-in-law?
We're going to talk about mental health next. So
There we
we should
go.
just slide right on into
Segue
that.
right into that. Great.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
we had an amazing childhood with our grandmother, and yeah, there were trees climbing. We ran around naked in the summer. We'll revisit it at some point, but
Yeah,
there you go. The endless entertainment of costume jewelry and a crinoline slip.
wonderful.
All right, just jumping into mental health. The universe is a funny place, and it reminds me of things over and over again. So I logged onto our email to check and see if anyone emailed us with very little hope and a sad face. You guys can fix that by
So
simply
disappointing.
sending an email that says, hi. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
you
all we
guys are
want.
making us sad. We're sad.
Anyway, so I log in with very little hope of seeing anything worthwhile. And I read a junk email that the Daily Stoic sends to everybody. And it reminds me of things that we talked about earlier, like taking the job because it pays well, because it's supposed to be your dream job, taking the job because this is the next step in the progression without fully aligning that job to your values. Again, getting back to being able to understand your values tells you whether or not you should take that job. So just because it's supposed to be your dream job, but the boss is a dick and it's just not the thing that you're passionate about, just not the thing that melts your butter, being able to understand your values drives your ability to make a good decision in those kinds of situations. So I'm going to throw it out there again for everybody that finding your values is hard, but we're here to do hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to try to. I really want to find something that melts my butter, though.
I can't, somebody said it to me a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I love it. I said it in an
I
interview
do
today.
too. I do too. I love it. What melts your butter?
I asked a lady, I was like, hey, here's the range of the things that you can do that I can see in your CV. Which one of these things really melts your butter? And she was like, huh.
She's popcorn.
I was like, that doesn't melt the butter. It just, if you put it
Corn on
on,
the
it
cob.
melts butter. Delicious.
Corn on the cob melts the butter.
Again, trying to think of values and giving ourselves a little bit of grace for last week. I know you probably did a good job of maintaining your atomic habits of getting out and working out every day, right? You did.
I did. I
Yeah.
did. I continue to work out every day.
I went to sleep
No, that's why
earlier.
I took Friday off. I took Friday off.
I went to sleep earlier and earlier because I was so goddamn tired. My nutrition was really shitty, and I went to yoga one day. I think that I need to really evaluate what's important because I feel like I am not healthier in any way, shape, or form than I was when we got back from vacation. And in fact, I might be less healthy. So I am going
Yeah,
to need
my
to take a little
nutrition
bit of
is
stock.
yeah, I need to get back on the nutrition wagon. Today I ate beef jerky, Jordan almonds, and Chick-fil-A.
I had a piece of
So
beef
I might be
jerky.
working out, but it's really doing nothing for me at this point.
I was too tired to get out of bed until about 7 today, 7:30, because I kept hitting the snooze button. And then I grabbed a piece of beef jerky to eat on the way out to drop my car off to get serviced before I had to race back here and get on and do this recording. It maybe I need to put one before the other. The thing I wrote down is that we're going to forgive ourselves for I'm going to forgive myself for having kind of a wild week. I'm not going to give up on
Ooh,
trying
no, no,
to meet this value. I'm not going to give in to being like, "Oh, well, I guess I'm not healthy."
no.
I'm gonna jump back to Atomic Habits, and next week I'm gonna talk about how it went. Here's the other challenge: is that it is again a wild week. I have to drive 8 hours. I have to move Olivia in. I have to recover from that.
So
I'm
you're
not gonna work
focused on,
out.
but you're focused on all of those things. Of course, you're not going to work out. You just decided you're not going to work out. Do you want to work out? Then set yourself up for it.
Oh my goodness! I see what you've done here.
Yeah,
Um,
you just said you're not going to work
I'm
out.
not
All
gonna work
right, you're
out.
not going to work out. Then say you're not going to work out, and then you'll figure it out the next week. But I feel
But
like you don't need to do that. I feel like there's other choices you can make in setting yourself up and going into the rest of the week.
I think you're probably right. I was able to find a place where I would be able to eat a lovely dinner in Raleigh. I'm sure I
Mhm.
can find a place that will let me jump into yoga class while I'm there.
Yeah, and you also have options. It's amazing in 2024 the amount of things that you can stream on your phone, on a television,
Oh,
on a computer,
oh
all
my
of which I know
gosh.
you will have at your disposal.
That is
You
amazing,
have
right?
tons of options. You don't even have to find a place to go.
I
Literally,
can,
you can roll out of bed. You don't even have to put a fucking bra on. Just stream
oh
some
no,
yoga.
the,
You should definitely, I definitely think you should put on a bra. I'm not saying you shouldn't, just saying you don't have to. I suggest wearing a bra. Speaking of bra, I'm sorry, I'm going to get us off track for a second. I saw that the Skims nipple bra is back in stock. So there's an actual bra that has nipples on it,
no,
which
but
maybe if you've had reconstructive something or I don't know, but I spend extra money to make sure my bra isn't going to show my nipple.
it's why I don't wear
Is that
white
me just being
t-shirts.
old? Is this just an old thing? An old thing is, hey, let's try to not have your nipples hanging out there all the time.
Right. It's the same thing with wearing pantyhose. I didn't realize we weren't doing that anymore until about 3 months ago. I
Oh
was
my,
like, what do you do when you dress up for something fancy and you don't want everyone seeing the sunspots all over your legs? You just let them hang out there? Mine are really
you go get a
pale.
spray tan. You go get a spray tan. But if your legs are really pale, the odds are the rest of your body is really pale, which means if you're putting on pantyhose, it's not. I feel like the
I mean,
only people who wear pantyhose are the royal family. And I think that's just required.
in me. Not anymore because I was like, oh, we're not doing that? I didn't, no one, I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the
Yeah.
nipple
I just got the nipple
memo.
memo today, but you know what I did with the nipple memo?
No,
I tossed it. There's certain shit I'm
I,
just not going to jump on board. Like stirrup pants, not going to happen.
I
Nope.
already did it.
Nope.
Already did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm not going to buy the nipple bra.
yeah, no,
So there you go.
no, no.
All right,
Okay,
I can
sorry.
work out this week. I can work out this
Yes,
week. And what I am going to do
you
is
will work out this week.
yeah, and I'm going to do that by making it attractive and putting it front and center when I'm in Raleigh. There's no reason
I
not
mean,
to.
you could even start now,
No, I'm
find
working
something
out
tight. Like,
tomorrow.
no, but
Oh,
start
tonight?
looking for shit online that you could stream and
Yes.
have that set up and have it ready so you're
Great.
not in Raleigh and I don't
Ugh.
feel like looking for something. So make sure you have your workouts picked out and you know exactly what you're going to do on what day at what time.
Oh my God, this seems again obvious, but it is also so easy for me to be like, I'm not going to work out this week and still
Well, I feel
convince
like
myself that I'm doing the right thing. So thank you.
I will shame you and I will not give you grace next week. Just telling you, there's your warning.
Thank you.
Accountability. Hey, there
I
it is.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And if you ever accepted my workout invite that I sent you on your phone like 7 years ago, and or on your watch when we first got watches, I would be able to see exactly what you do and
that would
shame you even more.
mean I would have to wear my watch.
Yeah. And that's also like me joining your Life 360. Do you really want me to see how late you are or that you haven't left your house yet?
I don't
I
do that
assume it's
anymore.
something you don't want me to be.
I don't do that anymore that much.
Okay.
When convenient for me. Now, I think we've revealed to the fans that I might not be the perfect person I've been pretending to be for 20
No.
episodes. Do you think they're surprised? I bet they're surprised.
That's a lot.
I bet we get emails. Yeah.
You're going to have to chew on that one.
Yeah.
Did you see my comment that I put on our Mental Funny Bone post that you put out about YouTube?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay. Just want to make sure that you got the message to check yourself.
Listen, I think the way to settle this is to have everyone go to YouTube and watch some of these videos. Then we can see who gets
and watch both of us equally, because this is what you will see from my sister as I speak.
True. Definitely not true.
So true. The thing is, she just watches me when she watches them. I also watch me, and I could definitely see me doing this. So I'm not, I might really drag a little bit sometimes, but
I do ramble. I get it.
Just check yourself. Huh?
You check yourself. Yeah. Okay, good. You check
your
yourself.
pants.
You shut up.
You check yourself.
You shut up. All right, so next week we'll get to hear about what an amazing influence you have been on me in my life and how much I have worked out. And we also get to hear about my emotional wasteland of leaving Olivia in Raleigh and coming home by myself.
I think David's going to be with you, right?
David is flying down to help me move all of her stuff in, and then he's flying back Friday morning because he has grass to cut at the cabin. And I am more interested in how that's going to go. I'm more interested in David's critiquing of our storage facility packing, his thoughts on the fan that is no longer attached to its cord. I mean, I feel like we warned him. I feel, for those of you that might have missed that episode where we pack Olivia up and bring her home, Sarah and I, we got stuck in an elevator for about the most terrifying 18 seconds of my life.
It was definitely at least 2 hours.
It was not. It was less than a minute for sure. Less than 30 seconds probably.
It was rough.
We were in charge, and we had available to us a Honda Civic to move everything in Olivia's dorm room to a storage unit 3 blocks away. When we got to Olivia's dorm room, there was nothing packed. Not a thing, not a container, nothing. It was like
not even like a makeup bag.
It was like she pretended she wasn't moving out until the last possible second. And then we packed her stuff up.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see what David thinks of how, I think at the end, you recall it slightly different. I recall us just getting things and just throwing them into the unit at the end.
I think you're going to be surprised. It's not that bad. It might not be a perfect Jenga puzzle like I like to say that it is, but I don't think we were chucking things in. I think the only thing we really threw in was the cord to the fan that broke, which I was like, why are you okay? I wasn't really sure why we put the fan or the cord into the storage unit.
What are we going to do with it?
We're going to recycle it. I don't know. Pay money to buy a new one. I felt like we should have gotten rid of the evidence.
I put it in the unit. Just get the door closed so no one from the place comes and wonders why we broke their elevator.
Oh no, the guy picked up the cord and gave it to us.
Thanks. My God. All right, so yeah, we'll get to hear about that next week. Yeah, guys, try to do better than me. Try to do almost as good as Sarah. That's it. That's all we got.
Right. We're all going to have a good week. I can't wait to hear about your week next week.
Me too. I'm excited for the tears. Love you.
For the tears. All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.